let's start on all fours. Knees are stacked underneath those hips. Wrists are stacked underneath those shoulders. Spread those fingers nice and wide. I want that low belly pulled in to protect that low back. And we're just gonna shift forward and back. Check in with your spine. Make sure it's one long line. Reaching out through the crown of the head, through your tailbone. So your eyes should be looking about a foot in front of your fingertips. Good, and then find stillness. I want you to bring those big toes together. Open those knees nice and wide and sit your hips back over your heels. Bring your forehead to the mat and your arms extended out in front of you. Deep breath here. If this is near impossible for you to do, you can do any of the modifications that I've showed you in the previous videos. You can put pillows, bolsters, blankets, stack anything between your knees and your butt that's going to give you some support, okay? So you might be very tight in your quads, and you're going to do that. If you have to come to your forearms, that's okay. If you have to stack more pillows under, that's okay. If your feet are sensitive because you don't have that flexibility, put a pillow, bolster underneath your feet and do the same thing. Knees nice and wide, in particular, is going to give you more space. And if you're already down there, make sure your belly is relaxed in between those thighs. Go ahead and begin shifting your hips right and left. Getting into those hip joints a little bit more. Continuing to breathe. Good. And then find stillness. Reach your right arm out to the side. So you're going to reach that right arm out to the side. Deep breath. Just let that armpit kind of sink towards the mat. You might feel a little stretch in your bicep. Activate that arm. So we don't want it bent, we want it straight. And then bring that arm back in front. Left arm out to the side. Same thing. I want that arm activated. And feel that armpit sink to the mat. You want to feel like your palms are suction cupped into the floor, kind of like they're the legs of a spaceship when it's coming to land, if you can think of that visual. Bring those hands out in front of you, spread those fingertips. Shift the armpits towards the floor. So I just want that right armpit closer to the floor, and then switch. Left armpit close to the floor. Switch. You're just trying to almost touch the floor with your armpit, although you probably can't, like me. You cannot. But just that idea, we're just getting into our shoulder blades. Good, and then find stillness. Reach further with those fingertips. Press into the mat and press your butt back towards your heels. So it's a very mild adjustment, but your fingers and your hands are suctioned into the floor and you're pressing into the mat, pressing your hips towards your heels. Good, and then walk your way back up to all fours. So however you need to get there. I want those knees stacked underneath those hips, wrists stacked underneath the shoulders. We're gonna reach our right leg out to the side, getting a little tricky here. So reach that right leg out to the side. I want you to think of that outer edge of your foot to reach towards the floor. So you're gonna feel a stretch all through that outer ankle, which might not feel the best. Knee and toes are still pointing to the front of the room. Or if you're facing sideways, to the side, but you get the gist. It's facing your direction. Toes and knees are facing the same direction as your shoulders and your head. Now, if you can, come down to your forearms so you can sink into this inner groin stretch here. Deep breath. I'm gonna go sideways so you can see where my butt is in comparison to my leg. So I'm not sitting my hips back. I'm still propping my hip right over top of my knee for support. When things are stacked, it's pretty safe. Deep breath. And then press your way back to all fours. From this position, okay, you have your leg extended still, your wrists are underneath your shoulders, your fingertips are spread nice and wide. I want you to think of doing cat pose with that leg out still. So we're rounding through the spine, we're dropping our head, we're rounding our belly. And then exhale, cow pose. arching that low back and we're lifting our chest as if someone just sat on our back. And you feel that stretch right in that groin area, okay? You're gonna feel all these different types of stretches. So be slow, mindful, and gentle. And cat pose, round through. Really feel your pelvis moving. Exhale, cow. Lift that chest, arch that low back. Nice and smooth and fluid. I reiterate, you do not want to be jamming into these hips. And round for cat. Exhale for cow. Good. Find a neutral spine, so nice long spine. Slowly pull that right leg down to meet the left and shift those hips right and left. That was a little bit of a new one for you. And find stillness with those hips. Reach that left leg out to the side. Again, I want that outer edge of the foot, the blade edge of the foot, to be reaching towards the mat. The knee and the toes are facing the same direction as your head and your shoulders and your fingers. Your butt is stacked right over top of that knee, so there's no sitting back. Your knee's not in, your knee's stacked, nice and supported. And if you can, and if you're ready, you're gonna go down to your forearms. Deep breath, check in with that inner groin, inner thigh area. Still reaching that outer edge of the foot down. Getting lots of stretch here, I know. And then from here, we're gonna press up to all fours. And we're gonna round through the spine, cat. Let that head be heavy. Hollow out that belly. Exhale, nice and smooth. Go into cow. So arching that tailbone, lifting that chest. And inhale, round. Think of your spine, one vertebrae at a time moving instead of one whole piece. Your spine is made up of a bunch of little pieces, so think do, 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 one piece at a time. And round, pressing the floor away. And arch through, tailbone, 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 middle back, middle back, middle back, middle back, upper, 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 neck, neck, neck. And round. Find a nice neutral spine. Gently bring that leg back in. Sway those hips from side to side. Good. Find stillness. Press up into your fists for a moment. Give those wrists a break. Low belly in. Shift forward and back. Good. Find stillness. I want you to drop the chest in between the arms. We've done this before. So your chest is dropping between the arms. Your arms stay straight. You squeeze an imaginary pencil behind those shoulder blades. And then you press the floor away and your shoulder blades slide off to the right and to the left. So it's literally just the shoulder blades, not my back, not my belly, just the shoulder blades. Drop the chest in between the arms. My arms are stick straight. Squeezing a pencil. And then I press the floor away and my shoulder blades just go off to the side. Last one, drop the chest, nice shrugs. And lift, press, press, press. Good. And relax those wrists, open those fingertips. Reach that right leg back behind you, ball of the foot. Nice strong leg. I want you to press all those toes to the mat. Little kickstand with that baby toe. Nice stretch through the calf. And bring that knee in. Switch legs. Ball of the foot, really press through. Drop that knee in. We're gonna do little fire hydrants, okay? So pressing into the mat, all 5 fingers pressing into the floor. I want you to reach that right leg out to the side. I hate to say it, but use this visual. A dog on a fire hydrant, okay? So lift that leg up. Lift it up and rotate that knee to parallel as you bring it back down. So we're making little circles with this leg. Keep that low belly pulled in to protect you. Your hip is gonna move, that's totally fine. Opening up and down. Opening out to the side, turning it parallel, bringing it down. Nice circles. Let's reverse these circles. So bringing it up and back, opening it up and closing. Lifting it up and back, opening up, closing. Couple more circles. I know this is kind of work too, huh? And bring that leg down, shift those hips from side to side. That one's a doozy. And find stillness with those hips. Be a dog in a fire hydrant, lift up that left leg, turn it parallel, bring that knee down, opening it up, turning it in. Little circles with this left hip. Foot is relaxed, strong arms, strong core. You're still looking about a foot in front of your fingertips. So nice neutral spine. And let's reverse those circles. Reach it up and back. Open it up, close it. Reach it up and back. Open it up, close it. Keep going. Breathe. Last one, open it up and close it. Open those knees wide, sit those hips back to the heels, big toes touch. Let that forehead rest on the mat. Relax those wrists. Deep breath. Good. Let's roll over onto our backs quickly. Feet flat on the floor, knees up to the ceiling. Nice flat back. Palms face the mat, down by your side. Rock those knees right and left. Find stillness. Walk your heels a little bit closer to your butt. Knees and toes parallel. Palms flat on the mat. Tuck and lift that pelvis up to the ceiling. Tuck and lift. Deep breath. Feel stretch in the front of your quads. Feel a little massage in your upper traps. Really press into the floor. And then roll down. So one vertebrae at a time. So start up top near your ribs. Roll, roll, roll. Do, do, do. Last thing to touch is that nice triangle bone called the sacrum. Drop it down. Good. And lift, tuck and lift. This entire time, you're feeling a stretch in your quads. You're getting mobilization in your spine. And roll down one vertebrae at a time. Notice where you feel that lovely stretch. If you want to hold it to get a nice stretch in your quads, do so. Last thing to arrive is that sacrum. Hands come to your low belly. Gently rock those knees right and left. Good. Let's drop our knees all the way over to the right. Extend this left leg out as far as you can. Nice and gentle. You're just feeling a nice stretch through the low back, through the side of the leg. Your hand can come hold that leg down if you want extra weight, or just bring those arms out to the side, palms up to the ceiling. You can turn your head over to that left arm to extend that twist. Deep breath. And slowly bend that left leg. Pull those knees back up to the ceiling. Little windshield wipers just to make sure that low back is feeling okay. And then drop the knees over to the left. Extend this right leg out as far as you can. Your hand can rest on that leg to hold it in place, or you can leave those palms up to the ceiling. Twist your head over to the right. Deep breath into this spinal twist, into this stretch on the outside of your IT band. Deep breath. This is one of my favorite stretches. You just let gravity do the work. And then pull those knees back up to center, nice and gentle. Press your hips to center. Lift your hips about an inch off the mat, so just press through the heels and then wiggle your butt from right to left. And then find center and lower it down. Hands are gonna come down by your sides and you're gonna just lift the legs up to the ceiling. This is not an ab exercise, so I don't want your legs at a diagonal. You just want them straight up, so your knees can totally be bent here. And we're just gonna shake our legs. So yeah, your core is working naturally a little bit, but your legs are not hanging out. If you have to rest up on a wall, you can. If your hamstrings are that tight, if they're that tight, just rest your legs on the wall like this. But if you can get them up, keep them bent, totally fine. Shake them out. Pull those knees into the chest. Give them a little tug. Pull your forehead into the knees. And relax the head down. Pull the forehead in. Relax down. And then begin to do little rock and rolls to seat. So just tuck that head in, little rock and rolls. If you can't do this, that's fine. You can just lay there or slowly make your way up. And make your way to any cross-legged seated position. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, bring those hands down. Tuck the chin into the chest. Roll the body down. Reach the arms out in front of you. Whatever seated position you're in, it doesn't matter. You can slightly sway. Roll up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Let the arms be lazy. Let the head be last. Roll those shoulders back. Bring the head on top of the spine. Deep inhale. Exhale. 15 minutes.